You have come here with a question burning quietly in your soul, though perhaps you cannot yet name it. Why is it that extraordinary minds, those who tear through the veil of the ordinary, are so often misunderstood, even despised, by those who dwell safely behind the walls of convention? This question has followed me throughout my life, haunting me like a shadow. I have found its answer not merely in logic, but in dreams, in symbols, and in the hidden patterns of the unconscious that shape human destiny itself. To speak of it is not to recite a formula, it is to step into the mystery of the psyche, where what seems simple becomes boundless, and what appears obvious grows dark and unfathomable. But who is this ordinary person of whom we speak? Not lesser in worth, but narrower in horizon. The ordinary psyche is content with appearances, with the routines of society, with what is given and familiar. And why shouldn't it be? Life is difficult enough without ripping open the boundaries of consciousness. The extraordinary mind, however, is born with a different fire. It cannot accept the surface of things as final. It sees the cracks in reality's facade, and it is compelled, by something greater, call it spirit, call it archetype, call it the demon of the soul, toward a deeper, higher truth. Such a mind is restless, driven to depths and heights that unsettle those who cling to comfort. And so, the extraordinary is not misunderstood because it is incomprehensible, it is misunderstood because it threatens the security of the ordinary. To meet someone who truly sees into the depths is to have one's own shadows stirred, one's illusions endangered. The ordinary psyche resists this, for it does not wish to awaken. It prefers the safety of sleep within the familiar dream. Thus, it mocks, rejects, even crucifies those who speak truth too soon or too fiercely. Consider the figure of the prophet. He does not arrive with polite theories but with fire on his lips. He speaks of what others cannot yet see. And yet, his voice rises from the collective unconscious, from archetypes older than the world itself. The people cannot understand him because they hear only the sound, not the depths from which that sound emerges. They cannot recognize their own soul reflected in his words. And so they call him mad, dangerous, deluded. This is not merely the story of religious prophets, it is the story of every visionary, every thinker, every artist who dares to give form to what has not yet entered the light of the collective day. In my work with patients, I have seen this drama unfold again and again, not in the streets or in the public eye, but in the intimate landscapes of the soul. Dreams often reveal it most clearly. A man comes to me, tormented by nightmares of drowning. On the surface, it is simply fear. But beneath it lies something greater, the vast ocean of the unconscious rising to claim him, demanding that he face what he has long denied. Another dreams of wandering endlessly through dark corridors, pursued by a nameless presence. He believes it is madness, but I know it is the shadow, the repressed and forgotten parts of himself, seeking to be integrated. What we fear most in others is often what we refuse to confront within ourselves. This is why the visionary is so often hated, he embodies what the collective has buried. The collective unconscious is not merely a storehouse of memories, it is alive. It moves through us, shaping our thoughts, our myths, our fates. When an extraordinary individual gives voice to something the collective is not ready to face, the reaction is almost always violent. The world turns on him because he awakens what they would rather keep sleeping. Yet there is a paradox here, the same collective that resists the visionary also needs him. Without those rare souls who descend into the depths and return with new insight, humanity stagnates. Civilization itself is born from those who dared to see differently, to endure exile for the sake of what they had glimpsed. But for the visionary, this path is not chosen lightly. It is not ambition that drives him, but necessity. Something within him will not let him rest until he brings forth what is waiting in the dark. This is why I have often said, the calling of such a soul is both a gift and a burden. It demands everything, his peace, his belonging, even his very life. What, then, becomes of such a soul, the one who refuses to betray the vision, who endures misunderstanding, isolation, even hatred? At first, it feels like a curse. He is cast out, wandering on the margins of a world that does not see him. The weight of solitude can crush lesser spirits. Many break beneath it, retreating into bitterness or madness. But for those who endure, something remarkable begins to happen. Slowly, through the very suffering that threatened to destroy him, a transformation takes place. The fire that once burned as torment becomes a source of inner light. This is what I have called individuation, the birth of a self no longer bound by the collective's illusions, a self rooted in something eternal. Individuation is not comfort, it is conquest, not of the world, but of one's own darkness. The visionary learns to make peace with his shadow, to draw strength from the very depths that once terrified him. And when this integration is complete, he returns to the world. Not as one seeking approval, but as one who carries a light that cannot be extinguished. The irony is that, over time, the world often comes to revere what it once rejected. The truths that sparked hostility become the foundations of a new understanding. But by then, the visionary has ceased to care for validation. He knows his task was never to be accepted, but to serve the deeper unfolding of life itself. This is the destiny of extraordinary souls, to be misunderstood in their time, yet to open the way for those who come after. They are bridges between what is and what is yet to be. And though their path is lonely, it is also sacred, for they are the midwives of humanity's awakening. There are moments in life when you feel like a stranger in the world, when your thoughts seem to come from a place no one else dares to visit, when your very presence stirs discomfort in those around you. Perhaps you have been told you are too intense, too deep, too much. Perhaps you have known the pain of being misunderstood, not because you lacked clarity, but because you carried a truth others were not ready to face. This is not a curse. It is the mark of the extraordinary soul. Extraordinary minds have always walked this earth like exiles. They pierce through the veil of convention, questioning what most accept without thought. They see patterns hidden beneath chaos, meaning woven into suffering, beauty in places where others see only darkness. But such sight comes at a cost. The ordinary world, bound by habit and comfort, resists those who disturb its sleep. It mocks what it cannot understand. It fears what it cannot control. And so, the visionary is cast out. Laughed at, doubted, even hated. Not because he is wrong, but because he is dangerous to the illusions upon which the collective rests. To meet such a person is to be confronted with one's own hidden depths, one's own shadows, and most people would rather look away than face what they have buried. But here lies the paradox: the world cannot live without those it rejects. Every great transformation in history, every leap of art, science, philosophy, and spirit, was born from someone once called a fool, a heretic, a madman. They endured ridicule so that we might awaken. They bore solitude so that humanity could one day see more clearly. If you are such a soul, understand this: your path will not be easy. You will wrestle with doubt, loneliness, and the relentless weight of carrying what others cannot yet see. There will be nights when you question why you were given this burden at all. But in time, if you do not betray your vision, something profound will happen. The fire that once burned you will begin to illuminate you. You will cease to seek validation from those who cannot see, and you will become what you were always meant to be, a light in the darkness, not for applause, but because that is who you are. This is not encouragement for vanity. It is a call to courage. The world needs those who can walk into the depths and return with truth. It needs those who can hold a mirror to its unconscious, even when it resists. And though your name may be forgotten, your influence will not. You are part of something far greater than yourself, the eternal unfolding of human consciousness. So walk your path. Endure misunderstanding. Embrace the solitude that shapes you. One day, others will follow the trail you blazed in silence. And when they do, they will call you what you always were, not strange, not mad, but necessary.